Hello everyone, this is episode 37 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra and this is a podcast about crocheting and knitting and other crafty things, and you can find the show notes with all the links for everything I talk about on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk, and I shall also link in the little down bar below. You can find me on Instagram at SandraCherryHRT and on Ravelry as Cherry Heart. Oh, and there's also a Cherry Heart group on Ravelry, Cherry Heart's Cozy Corner, if you wanted to search for that in the groups tab and come along and join us there. That would be lovely. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we can get started now. We'll start with things that I have done, things I've finished. It feels like quite a few weeks since I last podcast. Oh, that was right. When I last spoke to you, I said that next time I spoke to you, I would have my lovely friend Sam from Betsy Makes with me. We were planning to do a joint podcast a couple of weeks ago, actually, before half term, but my little poppet got poorly, so unfortunately we couldn't do that. So I'm minus a co-host today, so it's just me, I'm afraid. So sorry about that. It's a bit disappointing, but unfortunately it was then half term, so events moved on. But anyway, here I am, just me for today, and we'll hopefully get together for a joint podcast sometime soon. But yeah. We'll begin, I suppose. Oh, just to say that my daughter's fine again, by the way. It was just one of these little things, and after a few days she was fine. So, yes, the reason for mentioning that is because it's been a while since we last spoke, so I feel like I've started some things and you haven't even seen them as whips yet, but I've already finished them, so I'll catch you up as we go along though. So what shall I show you first? Shall we start with socks? It's traditional. It has become traditional. So these socks, I think you haven't seen. Pretty sure I didn't even show you the start of them last time. Yeah, so these are, the pattern is the No Pearl Monkey socks, and they're by Cookie A. The pattern is actually for called Monkey Socks, but there's a variation of it called No Pearl Monkeys, which basically means you leave the pearl stitches out and just knit them instead. I was going to do these for my Strictly socks, but I decided not to in the end. So I decided to use them with this yarn instead. So this, the yarn is this lovely yellow, is by Herbsblatt Regina. So lovely Regina. And I think it's called Fall Leaves. No, it's called Fall is in the Air. Yeah, Fall is in the Air. So as you can see, it's the colour of beautiful autumnal leaves. And I've had this for a little while, but I was planning to use it in October because it's just the perfect October colour to me. This is exactly how the trees look around here in October. Beautifully yellow, still a few sort of greeny bits and some darker little reddy bits too. It's just perfect. Perfect October socks. And then the contrast yarn is by 5 Moons, and I think it's called Luna, the sock yarn, and this is in the flapjack colourway. So it's cuff down sock, so followed the pattern for the for the lace pattern. The heel flap I just did, so I'm not quite sure if I followed the pattern or not. and the toes I just did, so I'm not sure if I followed the pattern or not. It's just a rounded, it's just a flap and heel. What's the word? Oh my word, I can't remember the name of anything. Heel, flap and turn, gusset. One of those heels with a gusset in, and the sock is just a rounded wedge toe. Oh, sorry. Let's stop that doing that. There we go. Right, what was I about to say? I can't remember. Oh yes, I've done a little bit of slip stitch. So you can see on there? Yeah, I've done like an eye partridge slip stitchy heel, but I actually carried it on underneath. I said about doing this before. I did it on another pair of socks and I carried the slip stitch on the heel turn. But this time I carried it right underneath the gusset as well, because I figured, see, when I wear socks, I seem to wear this underneath, under the heel bit out most, rather than back here. I mean, I do get some wear back there, but it seems to be there that I see the most wear. So I thought if I took the, let me take it off here actually. If I took the slip stitching right down under the heel, I thought that might be a good idea. I didn't do it on the last pair of socks I made because I just forgot about it, but for some reason I remembered when I was making these ones, so I thought I'd give that a whirl. So yeah, oh look at that, love the yarn. I thought I'd see how that worked out. To be honest, I've got quite a few pairs of hand knit socks now, so I don't really have too much trouble with them wearing through, because I can rotate them quite regularly, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say about these. 2.25 needles in UK sizes. Never quite sure what that is in American. I think it's 1.5, but not 100% sure. And then the only other thing to just say about these is that I love this yarn. I love the colours of it because it's so autumnal, but I just love Regina's yarn. I just love it. It's kind of a little tiny bit thicker, like a plumper 4-ply, and it just feels divine. As soon as I sort of cast on and started knitting the ribbon, I was like, ah, I love working with this stuff. Like my favourite socks ever, the two that I really like the best are both with her yarn. So yeah, it's just lovely with to knit with. The cuff just feels so, it's one of my favourite things, sort of knit up and the cuff is sitting there on the needles and it feels all plump. And you can see how the yarn's knit up and you're ready to go on the sock. Love it. So that's those ones. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of toffee apples as well. Actually, this one is a little bit darker than that one, isn't it? Sort of a little bit more of the dye is caught on that one. Oh, it looks so good. Kind of reminds me of toffee apples as well, like the sort of, the yellow is like the inside of the apple. There's a little bit of green from the skin of the apple, and then there's the sort of really darkish reddish glaze of the toffee on the outside. When I was knitting that up, that's what I kept being reminded of. But still very appropriate for this time of year. So I've started and finished those. I hope you can't hear, we've got roadworks going on near us at the moment. They're resurfacing and I don't know what, which has been going on for a few days. And they were making less noise today, but I can hear some now. Hopefully you won't be picking up too much. Hopefully not. And I think there's a helicopter now going overhead. It's all go. It's all go here today. quiet country village. Huh, so much for that. Helicopter is getting louder. If it is a helicopter, perhaps it's some kind of road machine. Okay, this is taking a while. I'm going to carry on and hope to goodness you can't hear it. Hopefully once I sort of, you know, reduce factor and noise, you won't be able to hear it. So the next thing I knit is these wrist warmers. Or I didn't knit them, that's a complete lie. I crocheted them. It's these. I've been wanting a pair of just lovely grey ones for a while. Just something nice and neutral, and I'm in the mood for this sort of lovely neutral thing at the minute. Just something soothing and one colour that's sort of easy, something relaxing and cosy. It just feels the right sort of time of year for simplicity and coziness. Yeah, that's what I feel the need for at the moment, and these are what I made to fulfill that need. I'm not sure I'm going to remember now what the yarn was, which is annoying because it feels amazing. It's an alpaca, I do know that. I'll look for you, hang on a sec. So it's by, sorry, I'm just looking down at it. It's by Juniper Moon Farm, and it's Harriet Fine. Yeah, Jupiter Moon Farm is the brand, and the name of the yarn is Harriet Fine. So it's a light fingering, 3 ply it says on Ravelry. 75% alpaca, 25% nylon. 461 yards to the 100 grams, so that is a bit finer than 4 ply, isn't it? So I held it double for this because I just wanted a really nice squidgy sort of feel, and that's exactly what I've got with that. I don't know if you can see that there's a nice little sort of halo to the tops of them as well. Oh, it's just lovely. It's got sort of quite a loose, it's quite loosely spun, so it's sort of, I don't know. It traps the air in, and it kind of feels all squishy and plump and delicious. So just pop them on. I wanted to make them quite long as well because so they cover up and keep you nice and warm and squidged down. So there was no pattern for these, I just made them up. But I just did like a, take them off again now. It's like a crossed trebles stitch. So that's where you would skip one, make a treble into the next stitch, that's a double if you're in America, and then you do a treble into the stitch that you skipped, again double if you're in America. So it kind of creates, skip this one, treble goes there, and then you go back, so you get like a cross. Google it, there's loads of tutorials. So it's that kind of stitch, but I just did like a sort of cuff and slightly different, just plain stitches, and then I brought the cross treble in and just finished it off with a little simple top, just to keep it nice and basic and simple. So I used a 4mm hook for that, which is a G, so basically it's as if it's double knit. But yeah, they're warm and they're cosy, and they were just a really nice project. Soul soothing mitts I called them, because I just wanted something calming and soothing and relaxing. I kind of wanted to keep on making them actually. If I'd had more yarn, I'd make like a matching cowl or something. That would be nice. I've got more things to show you. Sorry, I'm going off in a little reverie or something. Oh yes, this is what I want to talk to you about. Festival. This is why me and Sam were going to get together to podcast, because we wanted to talk to you about Festival, which is a yarn festival in Hitchin in Hertfordshire. That will be taking place on the 11th of November. And myself and the lovely Sam will be there. We're doing like a sort of, well, they're calling it a green room. It's like a meetup basically. So we're going to be in the green room from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Just to kind of meet up with people, and sort of it'll be like a meeting place for Instagrammers and Ravelry people, and podcasters could come and just meet up and we'll just have a little chat really and say hello to each other, and yeah, hopefully that will be quite fun, because I don't know about you, but one of the sort of best things about going to yarn festivals now, aside from the yarn, which is obviously great, it's an opportunity to sort of meet other people in our little yarny world that we just don't normally see. I see Sam, obviously. I'm lucky that she lives close enough to me, but most other people that I sort of speak to on the internet are quite a bit further away, and I don't often get to see them, so it's very nice to have these little opportunities to get together and have a chat. So yes, if you are going or would be interested in going to that festival, that would be great. The details and everything are on the website. I think it's just festival.com. Yeah, so that would be lovely, and if you wanted to come along and say hello to me and Sam, that would be fantastic. I know some of you have already said you would, so that would be great. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. There's going to be some lovely stalls there, and yeah, it should be good. So anyway, when you get your ticket, if you're coming to festival, if you would like to come, you get 2 free patterns. That's, you know what I mean. 2 patterns without paying for them. One is a crocheted bag, which is by the lovely Sam, my friend, and the other one is a knitted bag, which is by Helen of Woolly Chic, who is also exhibiting there, who does lovely, gorgeous British yarn. Yeah, so we are having, we're asking people, or we're sort of having a bag-along event, or rather Sam is having it. She's hosting it in her group, which is called, I think it's called Betsy Makes Podcast Group. I'm sure if you type in Betsy Makes in the groups tab on Ravelry, you will find it anyway. Yeah, so she's having a bag-along, and there are prizes to be won. So you can knit either Sam's or Helen's pattern, or knit Helen's and crochet Sam's pattern, but you don't have to do those two. Those are just ones that you could use if you wanted to. You can make any bag that you liked. And then if you pop along to Sam's thread and post a picture of your finished object, you will have a chance to be in to win some lovely, lovely prizes. I think she's got pictures of those in the thread, but she also did a podcast about it just recently to sort of say what some of the prizes were, so you could go and check that out as well. And there's also, so if you're coming to festival and you bring your festival bag, you can enter another draw there, and that's another chance to win a different prize. So yeah, if you're coming and bring your festival bag, that's fab, but if you can't come and you still want to join in with the fun and make a bag along and get a chance to win a prize, then you can go to Sam's thread to do that. So I wanted to make a festival bag. I was going to make Sam's pattern originally, but I didn't have any sort of yarn that was quite right. I wanted something, she's got a picture of hers and it looks really nice. She's used like a DK weight yarn with a sort of nice, like a nice sort of sheen to it. It looks really nice. I kind of like the idea of doing that, so I might get some. So the yarn I wanted to use was this stuff, which I've only got a little bit left. And as you can see, it's quite a chunky old yarn. I'll show it to you actually, because it's strangely, let's cover my face up, see if it'll focus on that. Yeah, it's sort of strangely, almost crimped. It's a cotton yarn. I got it from America when I went there a couple of years ago, from a place in Florida. Did I bring the card? It's called Creativity but it's spelt differently. It's spelt with eyes. I'll pop it down here. And they were lovely in there, really, really nice. I brought a few things and they like offered to wind my skeins up for me and everything. Really nice, lovely little shop. So this is what it is. It's Sprout. That's the label. Is that focusing enough? I think so. Hope so. 100% organic cotton. I'm not sure on the bulky, chunky, super bulky, super chunky, which is, I don't know what's what basically, but it's 100 gram hank and it's got 109 yards. So they're recommending US 10 needles or a 6mm. So that's what I used, a 6mm hook. Don't know why I'm showing you that again. Yeah, so it's classic elite yarns, but it's really lovely stuff. It's nice and what's the word? Matte, but just quite sort of soft and fluffy almost. Sort of like a sort of kind of worn feel. I really like that. I've seen it in cottons before where they have this kind of almost like a sort of used feel about it that just makes it all sort of soft and lovely. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's show you my bag. So here it is. Here's my bag. So as you can see, I had 3 colours of the cotton, that blue, a yellow and a pink that I got all of those while I was there in America. And then I've got this, which is the ribbon yarn that I got when I went to All You Knit Is Love in Barcelona with Chrissy, from Chrissy's class. I'll hold that up so you can just sort of see the actual yarn itself. Well, if you can call it yarn. Like I say, it's basically like ribbons. And that's how it came up when I crocheted it. I did that on the 6mm hook as well. It's just held single. That's what it comes up like. You couldn't have got a better colour match, considering I brought this in America and this in Spain. Couldn't have asked for better colours. So I just thought those colours, you know, I kind of had the idea of using them in a bag and it would all work well together. And I tried it in Sam's pattern, but it just wasn't looking right to me. So I think I need to get something more appropriate for Sam's bag. But I just went with this as my alternative just because I wanted something super simple. So it's just one of those bags where you make a granny square. Am I showing you that right? No. Where you make a granny square. And then while you keep increasing on the corners, that's the corner, keep increasing, but then you start decreasing in the middle. So you can see there's where it's a normal square, and then you start to decrease and that brings those bits in. Does that make sense? I feel I'm not explaining anything very well today. I did follow a pattern, so I'll link to that in the show notes. And there we go. And I wasn't quite sure I'd have enough yarn left. I didn't have enough to do the handles as they had in the pattern, but I just sort of did them separately and then kind of threaded them through. Can you see how I kind of threaded it through and just sewed it on? Don't know if you can tell. But yeah, I just did those sort of multicoloured. And then just added a little tassel, because why not? Everything's better with a tassel. So yes, that's my festival bag. So look out for me at festival with my festival bag, which hopefully will be bulging with purchases by then. Maybe. So that is what I have made. What am I making? Oh yes. So when I was saying about this and my whole urge to make neutrals theme, or make something simple and neutral, I made these, but because they're quite small and they're over quite quick, I kind of didn't get that feeling out of my system. So I've started this. give you a closer up look in a minute, but I've actually done quite a lot. I've made a long rectangle of fabric. I'm running out of arms to hold it up. Running out of arm length. Let's take it a bit closer so you can see the stitch. Can you see that? There we go. Is that the best side? Sorry, keep it still. Yeah, so there you go. It's cross trebles again. This time, it's just a slight variation. So you skip the stitch again, then you do the treble or US double into the next stitch. Then you do another treble or US double into the stitch after that, and then you go back and do your treble or US double in the skipped stitch. So it kind of, that's why you get this big pull of yarn, because it's got to go over the two and reach right back into that skipped one. So it just makes that really nice kind of strand effect, which I quite like. It's a sort of variation on just the normal cross treble. I thought it worked quite well. What do you think? I dare say it's not, I'm sure there must be a stitch pattern for it somewhere, I guess. I can't suppose I've invented it as new, but quite pleased with it all the same. If you've seen it before and you know what it's called, feel free to leave a lovely little comment below so I can link to it. But yeah, it's like a double crossed or something. I don't know. Anyway, I went with it. It took me quite a long time to settle on what to do with this. In fact, I'm still not 100% sure. So I tried quite a few different stitch patterns. I went through sort of my stitch books and everything to try and find something. And I tried 3 or 4 and they ended up undoing them because I just wasn't 100% happy with them. And then I just sort of hit on this idea of the cross trebles again, so I tried that and it actually kind of worked, so I just went with it. So this is what the yarn I'm using. Let's get the label actually. It's called Rowan Cocoon, which I think they do still make. I think it is still going. But this is the mink colourway. I don't know if they still have that. 830 is the number, mink. Because I got this on sale quite a while ago, so they quite often sell off the sort of colours they're going to discontinue, don't they? So I don't know if there's colours still available. It's an 80% merino, 22% kid mohair blend, and it's the next one up from Aran, or worsted if you're in America, which like I say, I'm not sure if that's bulky or it's chunky. I think if you're in America it's one of them, and if you're in the UK it's the other one of them. Because, you know, why couldn't they call it the same thing? Because crochet terms I can kind of see. We didn't have the internet when crochet was invented, we kind of come up with our own terms, fine. But this thicker kind of yarn is much more recent, since the internet. So why couldn't they have come up with a name that was the same both sides so everyone knew where they were? No. So annoying. Anyway, it's US 10.5 needle, a 7mm hook, which is really strange because this is only 6 and I would have said this was thicker than this. Let's hold them up and compare. Let's compare and contrast. What do we think? Yeah. Can you see that? The blue one's definitely thicker, isn't it? I would have said. Whatevs. Using the 6mm hook on this worked out well because I wanted something. It makes reasonably tight, but I wanted something tight because it was for a bag. This I wouldn't have said is overly loose though or anything. In fact, this comes up it's quite heavy. It's a very heavy thing. This, let me show you a full ball because this is 100. Sorry, this is 100 grams. But it's not a huge ball, is it? It comes up about the same size as. Have I got them? No, I haven't got. But it's a lot smaller than some 100-gram balls of wool is all I'm saying. So it's quite a heavy thing. So how many yards do you get for the 100 grams? I'm sorry, I'm probably boring you. I'm very slow and dithery today. 126 yards for 100 grams. So I had 7 balls of it, and I wanted something that would kind of use it all up. I did have this to trade actually in my Ravelry stash. I was going to have it because I was happy to get rid of it originally, because I've had it in my stash for so long and not known exactly what to do with it, because I find it, because it's got the mohair, I find it a bit itchy, so I don't want it next to my skin, and I couldn't think of anything to make with it, so I was gonna, so I'll just part with it because someone else will be able to make good use of it. But because I just had that urge to work with something neutral and quite plain, and I don't have a lot of neutrals in my stash. Kind of tend to get drawn to the colours, so yeah. I think what I'm probably going to do is do one of those kind of poncho-y things where you just fold it in half and then you leave this bit open on the neck, and then this bit you sew up down there, and then it kind of hangs like a poncho. If you can imagine that. So it sort of hangs like that. And this bit will be on this arm, and this bit falls down to be on that arm, and the point comes more there. That's my idea, because then I can just wear it over things and I don't have to have it touching my skin. That's my plan. And this is my lovely little stitch marker from Homespun House, which says always with a heart and a beautiful deer. Love it, it's one of my favourites. And I've got this in my Betsy Makes bag, merino fabric yarns, bags. Gorgeous. This is in the Girls Just Want to Have Fun colourway, which I love. So yeah, that's, as you can see, I'm racing through it. I get through, I get through more than a ball an evening. So I had 7 balls and I've got 1 and almost a whole one left. So another evening I'll be almost there, and then I've just got to work out how to sew it up, and I don't think it'll need much of an edging or anything with it. I don't know where to put it. I think sort of quite plain will be the way forward with that one. What do we need to talk about now? Patterns in progress is next up. So my I Love Summer shawl, which is hanging up there, is now out. It's now available in all reputable Ravelries, basically, is where it's available. But the link's on my, well, I'll put the link in the show notes, but I did a post about it the other day, so yeah, so that's up and running, so that's good. I managed to get that done. And then the Spicier Life is still going, of course, which I'll pop a picture in here just in case you're not aware of it. Yeah, so we're on week 5. Week 5 came out this week, so only one more week to go. So that's sort of racing through at a fair old rate of knots. So that's all very exciting, but yeah, new people are still joining, and people are only just starting. So I mean, if you still want to do it and don't feel that you're too late to the party at all, there are still people joining the Facebook group and only just starting, and you know, just doing the first part and so on. So yeah, you won't be left out, don't worry, you won't be left behind. But yeah, it's coming along, and thank you for keep sharing your pictures. Loving to see them popping up. Scrolling through on Instagram, it's just looking amazing. Yeah, it's really good. So thank you for that. Thank you for keep sharing them and keep joining the Facebook group. It's much appreciated. And for buying the yarn packs, of course, that's very appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, that's probably about it for patterns. I've got some my last kind of commissions of the year I'm working on now, and I've done all the sort of making that I need to do, so my kind of needles and hooks are free again, which is kind of why I've got a bit of cast-iony, chain-iony-itis. Yeah, I kind of want to start all the projects at the moment because I haven't got sort of things that I have to be doing on the go, so I feel all suddenly, oh, I need to make everything immediately. But I have still got to do the paperwork side of it, you know. I've still got to write it all up and get it all sorted out. So yes, need to get all that done. So I'm not working on anything else at the moment because I'm concentrating on getting those finished up. And last of all is incoming goodies. So I'm quite lucky. I've got lots of lovely gift goodies this week, which is really, really nice. So first of all, I've had this one for a little while. I've sort of been storing things, meaning to share things, and it's taken time to get through them all. So let me just unwrap this a second. So this was a gift from someone who actually won the Hotel of Bees crochet along that me and Sam did together earlier in the year, back in spring. And I'm probably not going to say this right, but I think it's Shether, a bit like sort of heather but with a sh in front. Shether. I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right. But she made this and sent one. I think she sent one to Sam as well. Look at that. It's like it's hooks, like on a mosaic background, and she's put the bits in to put it up as well. How cool is that? Like sort of flowers on. Wow, I've always fancied to go with that kind of mosaicing thing. Don't know why, it just kind of appeals to me. So that's cool, with sort of like the glass, these are kind of like glassy bead bits in the middle. So I'm thinking craft room. Perfect for that. So thank you ever so much for that. That's totally unexpected. But thank you. Yeah, just because she won a prize, she wanted to give us something back, so that was really kind. But yeah, don't feel if I ever give away prizes again that you need to do that. That's very kind. And then the other thing was a gift as well. Again, totally out of the blue, from nowhere. So yeah, really surprising. But this is, well, let me just show you like this actually. Look. A load of yarn. So it's Regia design line, so Arnie and Carlos. So that's cool. I don't think I've actually ever made one of these. In fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't. I like this one. Is this Arnie and Carlos as well? Yeah, it is. I really like the colours of this one. I think it'd make great man socks as well. I might, and these ones too actually would make good man socks. They're all Arnie and Carlos ones. I might ask the hubs if he wants some socks. Maybe. I might. I suppose he's worth it. And then she also got, let me show you. This, look. It's a little dashy. No, I didn't know what this was actually. Luckily it says on the card. It's a needle keeper. So this sort of bit goes on here. Now I didn't really know how that worked, but luckily I watched Chrissy's podcast the other day, from Chrissy's Crafts, and she had one of these and she showed how it worked on her podcast. So thank you, Chrissy. I'm glad you just put that on there at that moment. But yeah, you sort of put this on one side of the fabric that you're working on, and then this goes on the other side, and it's magnetic and your needle sticks, so you always know where it is and it keeps it on your work. Handy, huh? Pretty good. And she also sent this, which will mean that little needle keeper is perfect. It's Halloweenies. Oh, it's so cute. Can you see the picture alright? Oh, I should have taken it out of its plastic, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's Halloweeny Dachshunds. It's so cute. So yeah, I need to do that. I need to get some embroidery threads for the colours because I haven't got that many colours. And they are so cute. So thank you ever so much. This was from the lovely Angie. And yeah, just sent me that totally out of the blue. Thank you. That's so kind of you. It's so nice. You don't deserve. Thank you. And then another gift. I know. Another gift. This was from my sweet, sweet friend from America, Amelia, who is an Instagram friend of mine, and she's just the loveliest, kindest. She's a darling of a person, she is. You possibly might know her on Instagram because it's Emil Carve, and she's just lovely. So she sent me this. Now apparently Sam had seen these and she was like, oh, they're amazing, where do I get them from? And Amelia, being the absolute gem that she is, got them and sent them, and she sent one for me too. How kind is that? Just love this the leaf look, and it's even got the little curly vines and the shape with the ridges. Oh, it's the perfect look, sort of winter cosy your hands round cup, isn't it? It's just perfect for that. And look, even the inside is beautifully glazed and pretty. Ah, so lovely. That was really nice to receive. And when it came, it had like little chockies inside and the cutest little stitch marker. It was like a tiny little gumball machine. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it's so cute. So yeah, so I've been having my lovely autumnal tea out of this, and I've actually got some pumpkin spice tea bags. Perfect, or what? Perfect coziness. So thank you, Amelia, my darling friend. You are too kind, but I love it. And then last of all, for incoming goodies, is something that I purchased myself, and it's this. Look! It's a self-striping yarn by London House Yarns, and it's called Yule Ball, which is a Harry Potter reference when they go to the Yule Ball in the Goblet of Fire. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Oh, I love it. I love it. And all the different colours stand for different things. There's like the purpley is like, I think, Parvati's dress, and or is it Hermione's dress? But anyway, there's a colour for Ron and a colour for Harry and a colour for Hermione, and I guess it's the red for Durmstrang because Hermione goes with Victor Crumb. The orange for Ron, and it does say, I can't remember, but it did say what they all were. I love it. How Christmassy is that? How perfectly Christmassy is that? So maybe Christmas Eve cast on? Maybe Advent cast on? I'm not sure, but it's got to be in December sometime, I think. Perfect. I saw this on, I've not ordered from London House Yarns before, but I saw it on Amy's feed, Amy Florence from Stranded Dye Works, and she posted that she'd got some things from them. And I went along to have a little look, as you do, and yep, so that happened. And there's one more thing, which is a giveaway. Giveaway time, yay! I should have perhaps said this at the beginning, because you're probably not watching by now. Long episode. Oh well, if you're still watching, a bonus for you people that's stuck in there. Well done you. Okay, let me just get the thing. I have two prizes for my giveaway. The first of all is this lovely hank of yarn by Catherine of Craft and Treats. The very talented Catherine. This is called Cafe au Lait, and it's beautiful. I love it. It is 85% Romney lamb's wool, 10% British alpaca and 5% blue-faced Leicester. So there's 380 yards of finger in weight yarn there. Because Catherine sources her, what's it called? She sources her yarn from sheep that actually live where she does, in the same region as she does, and are spun in a mill that's also very close to her. So yeah, it's just really nice. But because it's very, very sheepy, it's not for me, unfortunately. But when we said, when we saw Catherine at festival, she said that we could pick a colour so that we had a skein to give away on our podcast. So thank you so much, Catherine, for that, for being so kind and generous. And so I wanted to pick what I would have chosen if I could have, if I could use those yarns. This is the colourway I would have chosen for me, because I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you like it too. And then the other prize I have to give away is a sock pattern. It's the Spellbound Socks by Naomi Buchanan of Cozy Cute Knits. She very kindly gifted me a copy of the pattern as well, and one to give away to you guys. So I'll be making that soon, but I'll just pop a picture up so you can see. But it's kind of like a nice, simple, what's the word? You know, it's like a nice little easy repeat, and looks like the pattern's going to be quite nice and simple, so that'll be good, because I'm into something simple I don't have to think too hard about at the moment, so that's perfect. So yes, a copy of that will be coming its way to our winner as well. So to go along with my little cosy and calming makes for this time of year, like craving something simple and neutral and cosy, if I open a thread in the Ravelry group, if you could just pop along there and just post what is your sort of favourite comforting make for this time of year. Obviously if you're in the southern hemisphere, yours perhaps might not be such a cosy make, you might want something lighter, but something you find comforting nonetheless would be perfect. So yeah, if you would like to pop those in there, that would be fab, and then I shall enter you all in a draw to win this lovely hank and that lovely pattern. And then I shall pull the winner and announce it next time. So thank you ever so much for watching, for sticking with me this far, and yeah, I shall hopefully see you at festival maybe. That would be good. And if not, I will see you next time. Okay, bye! Oh wow, this is so coherent. There, that's clear, isn't it?